Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the September Superintendents Webcast. We don't have a super full agenda for you today, but we're going to go into some depth on a few things. Tony, could you go ahead and share the agenda?
Sure. Just had it.
All right. We'll start with some updates from around the state from Tony Constetman, our Chief Communications Officer, the new chair of the Board of Education. She's a familiar face to all of us and a familiar face to Kentuckians. Sharon Porter Robinson is going to be on to talk about the commissioner search and update you with that and an activity related to it. Mickey Ray's on to give updates from the Office of Teaching and Learning, and then I'll close things out with some questions and answers if any come up, and that'll be it. So we got not a super full agenda today, but some important topics. So with that, Tony, I'll turn things over to you for KDE updates.
All right. Thank you, Commissioner. Put my camera back on. So we have a couple quick updates for you today. We do have some competitive grants that are open and available from the Department of Education. This is being shared from Jennifer Bryant in our Office of Finance and Operations. We have a fiscal year 24 Math Achievement Fund mini grant that is available. Applications are due Wednesday, November 8th. At 4 p.m. The award amount is listed there. It's $40,000. And then we also have a fiscal year 24 21st Century grant. The request for application and related documents will soon be posted to the competitive grants webpage. And then the in-person technical assistance programs are planned at those dates below, September 25th, 26th, and 27th in Frankfort, Bowling Green, and Richmond. So opportunities for your districts here on this page. Wanted to let you know that our Mathematics Achievement Fund mini grants, this is information here that you can receive on this. So that I won't go ahead and read all of that stuff, but this is included in the slides that you have been provided. Nominations are now open for the 2023-2024 Kentucky Education Support Professional Staff. This is something that we announced yesterday. This is a combination effort between us and the governor and lieutenant governor's office. This is an award that was set aside by Congress a few years ago to honor support staff in the education profession. We have nominations that will be open through September 27th. And would encourage anybody to nominate somebody in your districts or in your community that are doing an outstanding job that are in a non-teaching role. So this includes anybody in transportation, bus drivers, cafeteria staff, maintenance, all of the above, anybody in a non-educating position. So please take some time, nominate them. It takes just a few moments, and we'd love to see their applications and hopefully select. We will be selecting 2 winners for this year's award. Also wanted to remind you all that the deadline is approaching for the 2024 U.S. Senate Youth Program. This is an opportunity for a Kentucky junior or senior to most importantly, win a scholarship, but also meet with congressional representatives and others in Washington, D.C. for Washington, D.C. week. All applications are available online on the KDE website, and most importantly, they are due on October 2nd, and we are not able to move that deadline. So please share this information with folks in your high schools and with your school counselors and anyone else that you think would be helpful in selecting some students and asking for them to apply for this program. Our latest, and many of you know that we've been asking for our districts to share some of the ARP ESSER stories using some of the funding that you have received, either ESSER 1, ESSER 1, 2, or ESSER ARP. And recently we highlighted how our office here at the Department of Education, Special Education and Early Learning, have focused on expanding special education teachers' career and technical education knowledge to increase accessibility. We have several consultants that are across the state, and really excited to see what these folks will be able to do for our students. So please continue to send your story ideas on how you're using ESSER funds to us. My email here is at the bottom, and we look forward to hearing from you and sharing your story. We went on the road about a month ago to surprise, and it's not easy to surprise Mandy Perez, let me tell you, our 2023 Kentucky Teacher of the Year. She went back to the classroom after having a 6-month sabbatical. And so I, along with Glypta Sangrider-Jones, our information officer and program coordinator, hit the road, and we visited her at Crittenden County Elementary School on September 1st. We also presented her with a Kentucky Kernel and some additional swag, and she was very surprised, and the kids were also very surprised. They did not know that they had such a superstar for a teacher. So kudos to Mandy. We're looking forward to seeing her tomorrow when we will announce the 2024 Kentucky Teacher of the Year. This ceremony is taking place in Frankfort. We look forward to seeing many of our superintendents and school staff for this in-person event. As you see here on this slide, we have 11 semifinalists, and our Kentucky Teacher of the Year will come from one of the following counties: Boyd County, Southgate Independent, Jefferson County, Russell County, Boone County, Bullitt County, Hazard Independent, and I believe I said Jefferson County. They have a couple in the top 11. So congratulations to all of our 22 achievement winners who will all be recognized tomorrow. And we will also name our elementary, middle, high school Teacher of the Year and our overall 2024 Kentucky Teacher of the Year. The ceremony will be streamed on the KDE Media portal starting at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. We have continued our highlighting new superintendents. This one is not necessarily a new superintendent, but new to his district. Paul Mullins recently moved over to Elizabethtown High School. This profile just posted today. All of these profiles on our new superintendents are on the Kentucky Teacher website, and I encourage you to spend some time and learn some more about the stories of why our superintendents do what they do and some of the work that they find the most impactful in their districts. I'd like to share with you now, and the reason I want to share this with you is for many reasons. I think that number one, it could be very useful for you. Number two, this is a great example of collaboration with our school districts. So we worked with Woodford County Schools to record a video on bus safety, and we produced it in-house here. And I'd like to take a moment to share that with you right now. So give me a moment. I'm going to stop sharing this one.
School's back in session, and the Kentucky Department of Education would like to take a moment to urge motorists to drive attentively and be ready for school buses, and especially children exiting school buses.
Did you know every day in Kentucky, 8,795 school buses transport over 385,000 students on school buses to and from school?
Student safety is our biggest concern. Taking the time to teach our students and community about bus safety procedures is one of our highest priorities because our goal is for each student to get to school and home safely, not just at the start of school, but every day. Here are some tips for you to consider.
Stop at least 20 feet from a bus displaying red flashing lights or with its stop arm extended. Remember, you must stop when approaching both from the rear and from the opposite direction on undivided roads.
Red flashing lights on buses indicate students are either entering or exiting the bus. Do not attempt to drive around a bus.
Altering your route or schedule to avoid a bus is one way to improve safety. In doing so, you won't find yourself behind a bus and, as a result, potentially putting children at risk.
Pay attention for pedestrians, watch for school crossing patrols and pedestrians, and reduce speeds in and around school zones.
And remember, it's the law to stop for pedestrians. The law applies to street corners for both marked and unmarked crosswalks.
As a part of our safety awareness campaign, the Kentucky Department of Education and the Kentucky Office of Highway Safety have produced a variety of resources that are free to download. Head over to the KDE website and check it out. This has been a life-saving message from all of us at Team KDE. Stay safe, Kentucky.
The Kentucky Department of Education would love to give a special thank you to KDE's Pupil Transportation Branch Manager, Elisa Hanley, Woodford County School District, and Woodford County High School students, Musiah Tate, Mary Groves, and Amelia Miller.
So So hopefully you guys were able to hear that and see the video. We're really excited about some of these collaboration videos that we're going to be working on with our school districts, and that's just one example. So huge shout out to Woodford County and for our People Transportation Branch and allowing us to use this video. We'll be putting this out on our social media channels and encourage any of our districts or media partners to share it along with many of the bus safety tips that we have published on our KDE website. All right, going back to the PowerPoint, and I think I'm almost done, promise. Just a reminder that we are finishing up the accountability standard setting workshop or process this week. Earlier this summer, our Office of OAA hosted a workshop on indicator performance and performance level descriptions. And this week, a standard setting workshop will follow before the standard setting report and accountability is released this fall. Sorry, I'm really getting my mouth all jammed up there. Apologize. We anticipate that the accountability results and the school report card for the 2022-2023 school year will be released in early November, and more details are to come. All right, with that, I would like to toss over to our chair of the Kentucky Board of Education, Sharon Porter Robinson. And superintendents, I just emailed you a link to this activity if you can check your email boxes. Go ahead, Chair Robinson.
Well, thank you, Tony, and good afternoon to everyone. I am happy to have a chance to bring you an update on the commissioner search, and also to ask that you participate in a brief exercise that will help to inform our search for our next commissioner. The Kentucky Board of Education is already thinking about that, though we were not happy to have to do so. Kentucky Commissioner of Education Jason E. Glass announced on July 31st that he would step down from his position on September 29. On August 21st, the Kentucky Board of Education authorized KDE to issue a solicitation leading to identifying a national search firm that could begin a search for our new commissioner. The request for proposals can be found on Kentucky's vendor self-service website. And this RFP will close on September 25th. The Kentucky Board of Education is holding a special meeting on Thursday, September 14th at 1 p.m. And it is expected to name an interim commissioner. You can watch this meeting on the KDE media portal. Over the next 3 months, KDE members, board members, will be engaging with various stakeholder groups, including all of KDE's advisory councils, to ask 2 very important questions. We have already met with the Student Advisory Council and the Family Partnership Council. Board members are intended to share feedback from these groups with the search firm and request that they assist us in synthesizing all this data and provide an analysis to inform the candidate profile as we begin our search. So stay up to date on everything that's happening with the commissioner search on the KDE Commissioner Search web page. Now, just before the start of this webcast, all superintendents should have received an email with a link to this activity, which is going to be conducted using a Google form. Now, as we go through this activity, you'll be given about 3 to 5 minutes to share feedback to 2 questions that I will pose in just 1 minute. As you are entering your data in real time, you'll be able to see the responses, but we'll give you time beyond this meeting, as I'll share shortly. But our first big question is, what qualities do you hope the Kentucky Board of Education will look for in our next Commissioner of Education. So please begin to enter your information, your response to that question on the Google form.
And superintendents just made that form. I realized that you weren't able to edit that form. I just made that change. You should be able to start writing on that. So my apologies. I'll go ahead and share the screen here. It looks like Superintendent Alvin Garrison's on the first one in there. Should have played some of the warm-up music here, Chair Robinson. Should have had pick up some of the. All right, Chair Robinson, would you like me to start reading just a few of these for you?
Sure.
All right, so I'll start at the top, and I'll just, I'm not going to name every person, but I'll just mark some of the comments that they've provided in the answer key. So our first response, great communicator, very approachable, someone with superintendent experience, person of integrity, who is student-centered. The next response is another next commissioner to be student-centered and have excellent communication skills. Approachable, good communicator, student-centered. We're seeing that the third time here. Kentucky connections, public school experience, being able to have strong connections or be able to develop strong connections to Kentucky school districts. That's a desired trait. Be a champion for all kids and for public schools. All kids deserve the opportunity to be great. A communicator who can connect with all students. And got a couple more being put in there. And we'll give it about another minute or so. All right, I'll read one more, and then if you want, superintendent, you can continue to fill out this form. We are going to leave it open for the rest of the week. Also for other superintendents who are not able to join us for this webcast, but I know might have an opportunity to watch it later, and we'll follow up in an email. So another response here about being student-centered and being an advocate for public schools. And it looks like the last one on here right now just mentioned superintendent experience. So
clearly some themes are emerging here, some consensus themes, and I think all of this is certainly born of our recent experience. Our next question will ask you to share with us from your perspective, what are the top priorities that you think the next commissioner should focus on, given during their his or her very first year in office? So what are the areas of focus that should be prioritized during that first year of tenure in the position of commissioner? So if you'll just return to the Google Doc and add a few responses, we'd really appreciate it.
All right, I'll go back to the Google Doc and share that. All right, I think we're starting to see some themes established here. I'll start from the top if you're ready, Chair Porter.
Sure, please.
Okay. I would like the commissioner to be an advocate for increased funding for our schools via SEEK, and to work on ideas on how we can recruit more and retain and recruit more teachers and school support staff. Oh wait, that was mine. Sorry, I thought it was a good one. I forgot I was like reading the first one. I apologize. Pay raises for certified and classified staff members, increased opportunities for students, building strong relationships with school superintendents, someone who can help us with the employee shortages, the funding, and raises for all staff. Another one on funding for teacher and staff raises to increase pay to help with teacher and staff shortages. Being able to navigate the Frankfurt political machine, strong working relationships with district superintendents and the legislature for SEEK funding needs, and to focus on the homeschool crisis in the state. SEEK funding, equity among poor and wealthy districts, developing strong connections and relationships with superintendents and the legislature, staff raises, and someone who can help deal with the employee shortages. Creating a collaborative spirit and energy around strong public schools in our state. Another one on supporting increased SEEK funding, minimum starting salaries that are fully funded and focused on literacy and evidence, I'm guessing evidence-based work. The last one that I see here right now is additional funding for school districts to support pay increases for all district employees.
So again, some very strong themes emerging. Clearly, the priority is on funding needs and the education workforce crisis that we're all experiencing. I thank you for your participation at this point, and hope that you'll continue to add to this document in the days ahead. We'll leave it open for the next several days so that you can ponder these two questions. This is now the time to kind of help us focus and direct our efforts to recruit our next commissioner. Thank you so much for your participation and look forward to hearing more from you. All of these data will be shared with the search firm and with other members of the board so that we can avail ourselves of your thinking as we begin this important process. Thank you so much. Tony?
All right. Thank you, Chair Robinson. We appreciate you taking the time today, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. I hear that you are going to serve as one of our master ceremonies at our Teacher of the Year tomorrow.
Absolutely. Very important day to celebrate. Thank you.
Wonderful. All right. Now it's time for Mickey Ray. Mickey, are you on?
I am. Thank you, Tony. Good afternoon, superintendents. I have just a few quick announcements. This was our last chance to be able to remind you of a few key deadlines. So we are seeking public comment on the current health education and physical education standards. And so I just wanted to remind you that that will close as of the end of the month. And we do seek stakeholder feedback on the existing Kentucky academic standards for both of those areas. This is a required part of KRS 158.6453, which is our standards review process. So I wanted to give you that update. On the next slide, I just wanted to share some very good news about our participation with the LETRS Professional Learning through the Kentucky Reading Academies. So we have just closed registration for what is cohort 2, and I am just thrilled to report that we have collectively over 2,600 educators who are participating as part of cohort 2. So those folks, in addition to the 1,800 who are a part of cohort 1, we have over 4,400 actually educators across the Commonwealth who are participating in this professional learning. And I just wanted to thank you. I wanted to thank you for your willingness to share that information with your building administrators and teachers across your districts. And we look forward to supporting them as they move forward in the professional learning, and just ask that you never hesitate to reach out to us if there are concerns and issues that may arise via the process. I am especially thankful to Christy Biggerstaff and the Division of Early Literacy for their substantial support of this work. And so we are here to serve your educators who are participating in that learning. And just thank you again for your partnership in that. And then lastly, one additional reminder related to health education and physical education standards. So the Office of Teaching and Learning is seeking actual committee members, so educators who teach in those particular areas in health education and physical education for all of the grade bands, so elementary, middle, and high school. And that application period closes as of September 29th. So I just ask you to remind your faculty and staff members who are in that particular content area of this opportunity, and we would very much look forward to working with them. So Tony, that's all I have. Thank you all.
Thanks, Mickey. And quick question, is that open just to current teachers, or can there be like retired physical and health education teachers?
No, the law requires that it's current classroom teachers.
Wonderful. Thank you. All right. I think we have reached the point. Commissioner, let me check if you want to take over for a moment.
Sure. Thanks, Tony. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and to our presenters today. Thank you, Mickey, Tony, and Chair Porter Robinson for your participation today. I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you to the superintendents in the state. This is my last superintendent meeting with you before I transition at the end of this month. And I just want to say what an honor it has been to serve as your commissioner, to get to come back and do this work in my home state has been an incredible honor. And I have loved every minute of it, even the really hard times. I loved every minute of it, and have only feelings of gratitude for the opportunity that the board gave me. I loved working with the Board of Education in the state. They are tremendous people to a person. And that goes beyond just their professional capabilities and into who they are as human beings. They're wonderful people to work with. And the next commissioner is going to have the benefit of working with that wonderful board as well. But also thanks to all of you. Superintendents around the state have been welcoming to me. You've invited me into your districts. You've given me the chance to serve you in many cases. We've had phone calls, we've had emails, we've had handshakes and conversations at meetings where we've gotten things done together. And I've always appreciated your professionalism, the work that you do for students in the state, and have gratitude for those relationships and friendships that I've built over these past few years as well. In terms of what's next for me, I'll be the Associate Vice President of Teaching and Learning at Western Michigan University. So I'm excited about that role. I haven't had the chance to work in higher education in my life. So this is really a next step for me that I'm really excited about. It's an opportunity to improve the teaching and learning experiences of students at the university level, also to work with concurrent enrollment, dual enrollment students that Western Michigan University serves in that region and the satellite campuses that the university has, and work around artificial intelligence and strategic planning and marketing of education. So some things that are really interesting and sort of entrepreneurial as well. So I'm excited about that role. I'll also be doing some consulting work on the side. So I'm excited about the opportunity to do that and get back to some of that work that I've done in the past in supporting districts around the country and making these transformations of learning that we've come so far with in Kentucky over these past couple of years. I will be, our family will be staying in Kentucky for at least the next year. Our kids are in great schools in Fayette County, and my wife teaches in this district. So this will stay home for a while, and I'll commute back and forth, and then we'll kind of take stock and see how things are going from there. So I'll still be one of your neighbors, and I'll still be a public school advocate and a public school parent here in Kentucky. But just wanted to close again by saying thank you and incredible gratitude for the experience, and I'd be remiss not to also express my appreciation to the staff at KDE. You have been incredible to work with. And when I took this job, there were, I knew of the quality of the people that were at KDE. It was one of the reasons that I really wanted to come and work at the department. Is nationally, the staff at KDE are known for their expertise and their support and the good work that they do. And so to be part of that team really has been an honor as well. And I just want them to know that I deeply appreciate them and appreciate those relationships and friendships that I've been able to develop as well. So that's it. Thanks everybody again. Just a note of gratitude to close out from me. And Tony, I don't know if we have any questions or comments to close out with.
I will check on just a moment, but I just wanted to, Commissioner Glass didn't know I was going to be sharing photos. He said I can't have any parties for him, but I can at least embarrass him with some photos. And these are just, I think, really show a little bit about his tenure. So going from the top left, that was in Bourbon County schools, to Robertson County, to Dawson Springs, Letcher County, Taranga Academy and Bowling Green Independent. And then on the bottom right was Fort Thomas Independent. So just a great snapshot of your tenure. And we certainly appreciate all that you've done for us at the Department of Education. Dr. Woods Tucker and Chair Porter, I see that you are back on.
Oh, just real quickly, wanted to reiterate comments from Chair Porter Robinson and from Tony. And I'm certain that our wonderful superintendents across the Commonwealth certainly share in our sadness with Dr. Glass going on to higher ed, but we certainly appreciate his leadership, his mentorship, and everything he's done for public education in the great Commonwealth to positively impact the lives of students, staff, and community members. Wishing you well, sir.
Thank you, friend. Oh, you're muted.
You're muted.
Yeah, thank you. I did realize that. I do want to join in commending Commissioner Glass on having come here with the challenges that we were facing at the time of his initial service with COVID, having faced up to 2 natural disasters, one in each end of the state, and also embracing with thoughtful deliberate professional action, two aspects of very challenging objectives. One having to do with equity and really equal opportunity for all of our students. The other having to do with their opportunity to experience what? We wanted efforts underway to mobilize the energy at the local community level to become the voice of accountability for high quality educational service in their communities. And after doing what Dr. Glass does very well is listen with an open mind and heart, and then put his mind to work to develop a process to give us leverage for action. And we are so appreciative of the momentum that we've achieved in these areas through the Portrait of a Learner, through United We Learn, and through helping us develop as a board a plan of action that gives us the support for maintaining that momentum, even in the face of this transition. The final thing I would like to share with all of you is that I'm so excited for Dr. Glass to have the opportunity he is facing with his colleagues at Western Michigan University. To bring pedagogy to higher education is just yet another big challenge that Dr. Glass is embracing with great enthusiasm and passion and knowledge. And I believe that we'll be reading and hearing more about him and about changes to learning, the process of learning in higher education that will greatly benefit the students who are participating. So we have been enormously blessed. We're very grateful, and we leave you with nothing but the best regard for a continuing successful career.
Thank you, Sharon. And I think that wraps us up. Tony, any other things?
Nope, that's it. I just wanted to share with you that our next superintendent webcast is on October 17th. It is from 2 to 4 p.m. And we look forward to having our interim commissioner, whoever that is, join us in leading this next webcast. And I think that's it for the day.
Okay, thanks everybody.